Let's move along to our next guest. She is co-headlining UFC 240 in Edmonton this Saturday against the great Cris Cyborg, a massive fight for Felicia Spencer, the former Invicta FC featherweight champion. She's kind enough to join us via the magic of Skype. Hello, Felicia. Sorry about that. He likes to talk a lot. I don't know if you know that about Michael Bisping, but he's quite loquacious.
No problem, though. I enjoyed watching him say goodbye.
Yes, it was like a 6-minute goodbye. But this is a big week for you. And I actually want to start where we ended the last time we spoke, when you were on the show for the first time back in May. Of course, I asked you about the Cyborg fight, and you said you're open to it, but it has to make sense financially. You know, you want to be compensated. You're fighting her this Saturday, and so I'm wondering, did you get the deal that you wanted?
Everything worked out great. Yeah, as far as the timing, and I mean, I was partly concerned with timing and other things too. So, once I started to think about the opportunity, it was hard to pass up. So we definitely came to an agreement and booked it. I think I signed the contract like 7 days after my meeting win. So
Yeah. So you're happy with everything. You're content.
I'm definitely happy, and I'm very excited for this coming Saturday to shock the world.
If I would have told you heading into the UFC that in your second UFC fight, you'd be fighting Cris Cyborg, would you have believed me?
I always thought it was a possibility. I always thought it was a possibility, or I knew that it would be happening, one way or another. I'm happy that it's happening before she leaves the UFC, I suppose. She's always been on my radar. I didn't expect anything going into the UFC. Like, I wasn't sure if I would have a slower rise, if they were going to sign other featherweights or if they were going to have me go straight to the top. So I'm definitely, I was ready for either path that they took me to or gave me. So, yeah, I'm ready for it.
What do you say to people who say this is happening too soon, that you're not quite there yet? You shouldn't be fighting someone like Cyborg in your second UFC fight. What's your response to that?
Well, who else is there in the division? Even though, and honestly, I know that my experience in the public eye and the grand stage hasn't been shown a lot, but I've been training and doing martial arts my entire life. I have the mat time. My cage time doesn't match a lot of the other competitors in the UFC, but my mat time is there or beyond a lot of the roster. I didn't start training when I was 20 years old. I grew up doing it, so I feel very confident for that, to have the muscle memory and just the mindset that it takes to be on the top of my division right away.
So she's coming into this fight almost like a wounded animal because she's coming off a knockout. It had been so long since, she had ever fought. I know, like, I'm going to ask you, what Cyborg are you preparing for? And I know you're going to say, because everyone says, I'm preparing for the best Cris Cyborg. But is there a part of you that thinks, all right, like when a fighter gets knocked out, they're a little different? Perhaps a less aggressive Cyborg. She doesn't want to get caught. She's going to be a little more tentative. Do you think you'll see someone who fights a little differently than the Cyborg we've seen in the past?
No, I don't think it's going to really impact her coming fight. I'm not expecting it to. But we've seen different versions of Cyborg, in the last couple of years even. She's had some fights where she's been more aggressive, but she's also had some really tactical fights and slower paced. She's been in bad positions. Even if you just watch her most recent couple of years, she's been in bad positions or positions where she hasn't taken advantage of the situation. And I know, if I'm in certain positions where she's been with some of these other girls, those are positions where I excel. She's been clinched. She's had her back taken. She's been kicked. All of these things I'm seeing. I've been seeing for years. That there's always an opening. Everyone can be beaten, myself included, which is why I go into every fight with a mindset that I will find a way to win, and also with a healthy respect that I know anyone can be beaten on any given night.
I feel like there was an aura surrounding her, especially over the last few years. Like, some opponents were mentally defeated even before the fight. Do you feel like that aura is gone because we just saw her getting knocked out?
Yeah, that's hard to say. I can't imagine myself having ever, wanting to, or ever feeling that way before I would have fought her. maybe some people feel that that aura is gone. To me, she's a legend no matter what. And her last fight doesn't tell me. I don't look much into it. It's so short. If it was a long, drawn out fight where she got dominated, that would maybe look a little different. But it was just a situation where I can't really draw much from that performance, other than it just being very motivating, for her. So yeah, I know you said it's a cliche, but I'm definitely ready for the best Cris Cyborg that there's ever been.
Are you relishing the opportunity to potentially kick her out of the UFC? Is this something you alluded to it moments ago, but she is on the final fight of her contract, and this is a big storyline heading into this fight. Is that a spot that you want to be in?
I don't want to kick her out of the UFC, but it's known, like you said, that it's kind of the drama or just the spotlight of her position in her contract. So it's something that's there, who knows what she's going to do after. Honestly, the way I'm looking at it is I'm just grateful that I get an opportunity to fight her before she's gone, or if she leaves. I might have missed out on this opportunity. So who knows where her head's at, as far as the contract is concerned. But, I know there have been a lot of people talking about her next fight as if this fight wasn't happening. So, whatever plans are being made, I'm just here to spoil that party.
What about this rumor that came about maybe 2 or so weeks ago that the fight was off and that Nunes was being discussed? I think that you weren't very happy about that. What happened there?
Yeah, there was just some I don't even know what news site put out that Spencer was out, Nunes was in, and it got shared a few times. So honestly, the only thing that I think that got me a little bit frustrated is I was just working, going about my day, just busy working, and then all of a sudden my phone blows up with everyone that cares about me, what's wrong, what happened, why are you out of the fight, what happened? So my phone blowing up while I'm trying to be a productive during my day was just why would anyone share this, especially Cyborg or whoever runs her account shared it, so it just made it really blow up because she's was supposed to be a reliable source of information about her fight. So her sharing the information just was why would you do that? You're just making my day a little complicated now. I don't take it personal. I think I posted that it was a little disrespectful, but honestly, I don't care either way what she wants to say or what she wants to share on her social media. So, but yeah, that was something that happened, and I'm here and I'm fighting her on July 27th. So that's all there is to it.
So the last time we spoke, you kind of broke my heart a little bit when I tried to build you up as the next great Canadian, superstar. You were going to be our savior, all these things and more. And then you were like, well, I didn't really spend all that much time in Canada, but you're still very proud of your Canadian roots. Well, here you are, co-main event in Canada. Of the 4 fighters at the top of the card, you're the lone Canadian. And I do believe this is your first time fighting in Canada. So this is a pretty big deal. Are you gonna bust out the Canadian stuff this week to try to get the fans really behind you?
Yeah, I'm definitely running with my heritage, and it's awesome that I get to fight in Canada. I mean, I haven't even ever been to Edmonton before. I grew up or visiting around the Montreal area, a little bit of Ontario. So going out to Alberta is just something I've heard my parents talk about, with their experiences. So I'm really excited to get to represent, in Canada and hopefully have a few extra cheers in the audience, and just kind of get to, rekindle that flame and, get to meet Canadian fans who are, happy to call me a fellow Canadian.
Yes, I have a feeling they'll get behind you. I'm curious to see what the reception is like. And obviously, this is a very important fight for multiple reasons. We spoke about some of them, but also because a title shot could be on the line. So we just saw Germaine Durandamy 2 weekends ago beat Aspen Ladd, and so she has kind of emerged. And I felt like there was a 4-horse race, so to speak, and we'll see what happens in your fight, and maybe the person who looks the best moves on. Do you feel like if you beat Cris Cyborg impressively, you could be next for Amanda Nunes? Has that been said to you, or is this something that you're feeling going into the fight?
Nothing's been said to me, but I mean, how could it not be the case? Who else would take that title shot? And I know Amanda has, vocally said that she wanted to defend both of her belts, so it makes sense to me. That would be the next step. So, But yeah, like I said, I haven't heard anything official from the UFC or anything.
When you saw Jermaine fight the way she did and win in 16 seconds, do you feel like the stakes have been raised? Like now you have to do something to try to out-impress that performance?
No, honestly, again, the quick fights like that, it's hard to draw much from, how they go. Of course, it's impressive and it's awesome. At the same time, I think Amanda Nunes has a lot of pull with what she wants to do next. So really, it's all about her and what she wants to what she wants to do for her next fight. So I'm just going to go out there and be me and win the fight. And I think that'll be impressive enough, in the eyes of a lot of people. And a finish, first round finish would be amazing as well.
Did you think it was an early stoppage?
It's hard to say. I at first I thought kind of, but then, when you see she was kind of turned around, maybe kind of out of it for a second, and then who knows? I wouldn't argue it as like a robbery or anything like that, but I could see it going a little bit longer, but I'm not sure it would have had a different outcome at that point if she was rocked or anything. Could have just been a matter of a few extra seconds, just like anything. But it's a tough call to make, and I'm lucky enough not to have to make that call.
Right. Well, this is a massive spot for you, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's crazy how it's all happened, so quickly or relatively quickly. I'm sure for you, it doesn't feel that way, but as far as your emergence in the sport as a top contender at 145, and now you're fighting Cris Cyborg on pay-per-view. This is wild stuff in Canada, the greatest country on earth, Felicia. Come on, get behind it. Get behind it.
I am. I'm here. I'm going to be there. I feel it's very humbling to have the position, to have my second fight in UFC be in the co-main event spot like this, and on a card with so many people that I respect, and Max Holloway and Frankie Edgar are fighting the main event, and just Chris being on the same card as Cris Cyborg is a huge deal, let alone fighting her. So I don't feel any pressure that I don't normally feel. I'm just honestly, this is the best start to fight week that I've ever had, and I'm feeling amazing. I wasn't sure back-to-back fight camps would be ideal, but I'm really glad that it happened like this, because I'm feeling just ready to go in on Saturday and just be myself and have a lot of fun.
I wish you the best, Felicia. I'll see you out there in Edmonton. I'm looking forward to it very much. Good luck in the fight on Saturday night. Thanks for doing this.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right, there she is. The next great Canadian hope, Felicia Spencer, co-main event, Saturday, UFC 240, Edmonton against Cris Cyborg, potential #1 contender fight at 145 pounds. I mean, really it is. But will the winner fight for the belt next? We'll see what happens with Amanda Nunes. Hello, everyone. It's Ariel Helwani. I just came here to thank you for watching our ESPN YouTube channel. It's the best. You know what else is the best? The ESPN app. You can get highlights, analysis, all that stuff and more. And if you want premium content and live streaming sports, there's only one place for all of that. It's ESPN Plus.